All right, good evening, YouTube. I guess morning now, but anyway, I'm recording late tonight, mainly because I'm not going to be able to record tomorrow, so trying to get ahead of that. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why your level of fitness, your level of conditioning, it matters. Why it matters and why it's a area of your training that you should care about. And this is something that I feel so many channels, so many lifters either work around, and they work around it for a variety of reasons. And here's the thing, I'm a big guy and I eat a lot more than I should. I work out to kind of offset that, but you can't outtrain a bad diet. But generally speaking, I'm still very healthy. I have regular checkups and regular physicals with my doctor. I would be a lot healthier if I was leaner and lighter. But for where I'm at currently, I'm not at risk for any diseases at the moment. But I am trying to cut down, trying to lose that weight, trying to reclaim some level of fitness. And now that's kind of hard for me because I usually rely on high levels of activity to do so. Um, Living in the Pacific Northwest for quite some time, I was hiking almost every single weekend, and that kind of took care of almost all of my fitness needs. But now that I'm back in Nevada, not really the case. The hiking trails here just don't compare to what they were in the Pacific Northwest. But regardless, in your training, in your life, in your lifestyle, you need to have some level of conditioning, some level of training that is for the purpose of fitness. Now, like I said, some channels, some lifters get around it because they're skinny. Generally speaking, even though they're not the fittest, because they're not fat, it doesn't really affect them all that much. If you are a bigger guy, training to be more fit is going to benefit you in multiple ways. So first, you don't have to eat less, essentially. You can eat the same exact diet that you're eating now, but with that added level of activity, you might push yourself into a deficit, and it might just be a slight deficit of maybe 1 to 300 calories, but given enough time, that's going to produce a more than enough weight loss for you to be happy. And with that being said, if you are a lighter guy and you're trying to bulk, you still want to maintain some level of fitness. And why does this matter? And it matters for this one simple reason. The fitter you are, the more you can fit into your training program, the more you can do on each training session. If you are gassed after a set of squats, deadlifts, any compound movement so much that your main strength work takes up over 2/3, uh, or maybe just anything above half of the program or half of the training session, there is an element of fitness you need to address. And this really matters. If you want to actually be a power builder, meaning you actually want to pursue strength and size, you need to have the fitness to do so. Strength training, training with heavy compound movements, is taxing on the body. There is an element of fitness to it because you are taxing your anaerobic system because you're using fast twitch muscle fibers, and those movements use so many muscles that blood, oxygen needs to go to so many different places that if your circulatory system, your cardiovascular system is not up to par, the quality of your training decreases drastically. This does not mean you need to be a marathon runner. The simplest form of cardio anyone can do is just walking. This is something that I need to improve upon for myself, but I have been throwing in more sleds. I am getting back into the flow of running, even though my knees can't really take it. It's a love-hate relationship with running. But anyway, you need to be fit if you want to be a power builder. If you are not fit and most of your session is being consumed by a certain exercise because your level of fitness does not allow you to train more, then what are you really doing? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, if I just sandbag, then I can get more into my workout session. But that just means you're able to get less effective work done in your training. You don't want that. You want to make sure that you have the ability to push your muscles, push movements to their absolute maximum potential and difficulty during that session, and then recover enough so that way you can still do accessories and supplementary movements. This is critical. Fitness is, or I should rather say, health and fitness is usually something that gets neglected by those who pursue something such as strength or size. I mean, we all have the caricature of the fat powerlifter in our mind, but I would also argue that, oh, I just care about getting big, bro, so I don't need to do any type of cardio, and then they just end up looking like those fat powerlifters that they make fun of. That is not what you want to be. You want to, and furthermore, like, here's another thing: you don't want to just be that guy who only lifts weights. Like, your utility ends in the gym. Now, it's very rare to have this because, lifting weights increases fitness to an extent, but generally speaking, I know many guys who, even though they lifted weights, the moment you had to ask them to do anything else, they just weren't able to do so. So me, with a military background, we had to move equipment around. Some of it was heavy, some of it was awkward, and the weight is something that I know they could lift, but just the fact that they couldn't carry it for long distances, for the fact that they couldn't move under load, essentially, you don't want to be that guy. When life kind of calls upon you to do something great, extraordinary, and outside of your realm of ability, you want to have the general physical preparedness to actually attack that obstacle, attack that weight, attack that whatever it is that life requires you of that moment. You want to be able to do so without hesitation, without needing to be like, oh shit, I need to warm up, and you don't want to be that guy who just gets gassed after doing one simple errand or one simple favor for a friend. You don't want to be that guy. So, what does this mean for your training? How can you implement this? How can you make sure that you are addressing fitness into your programs? And all of these methods are going to receive their own video, because what fitness kind of is will vary for each person. So like I said, I have a military background. You might have police, fire, or you might work a desk job. So what is fitness for a police officer is not going to be the same as fitness for a human resource manager. So those are things that need to be considered. But regardless, fitness needs to be part of the program. The easiest way to incorporate fitness, conditioning into your current training is supersets. I find it very strange when supersets are kind of looked down upon, scoffed at, or essentially made fun of, and kind of made into that bro science life meme where it's just like superset. Like, you are getting so much out of less. You're putting so much more effort and you are getting so much more out of it in less time. I do not see a downside for supersets. Now, I know that there's different methods of doing a superset. So, for example, there's the antagonist agonist superset, in which you would use two muscles that are opposite one another. So, bicep tricep supersets, chest back supersets, quad hamstring supersets. These are the main supersets that I implement. Generally speaking, I like to use supersets in which they supplement each other, or complement each other rather, because I don't want to do, let's say, bench press superset it with push-ups. That's great for conditioning, that's great for, let's say, fitness, but it will detract from your goals, because now on your next set of bench press, you're going to be more fatigued than you were earlier, and you would be otherwise if you just did, let's say, bench press and chin-ups, bench press and rows, bench press and bicep curls. So if you were to do the bench press and push-up in comparison to those three other options, your chest is now fatigued, and the amount of work, the amount of quality reps that you could get out of that bench press set has been shot. It's been decreased. In that sense, there is a downside to supersets. But supersets done properly, supersets done intelligently, I do not think there's a downside. I do not think that there is a significant enough drop in performance, especially once you get used to doing superset style training. I have not noticed it at all. I have hit PRs on multiple movements when I did a superset preceding it, because I usually do a pull before I do any pushes. I've hit PRs on my bench, on my overhead press, and where I did reps of a pull or a chin up or whatever right beforehand. It does not affect you that much. And if it does, then congratulations, you can just cut the superset for that one top set or whatever, or you can even place it after. So you can rest a little bit and go from there. This this is a very simple way to increase your fitness. Now, the other ways, these are more traditional ways of going about it, but they work just as well. For your lower body workouts, you can kind of be a minimalist in a sense that, let's say you do squats and deads, or a squat variation and a deadlift variation, and then you do some type of sled work. If you have access to a sled, use it. So you push the sled forward, and then you kind of have straps on the sled so that way you can walk backwards with it. Just do that for a couple rounds. Boom. You are getting a good stimulus for growth, in my opinion. You are getting a great stimulus for cardiovascular conditioning. And I actually think that there is more than enough carryover from something like a sled push to lower body movements. Or if there's not carryover, it does not negatively impact you in any specific way that I have personally found. And then let's go to an upper body workout. You can do something like lower body focused cardio. So cycling, running, elliptical, so long as the cardio is not, so long as these lower body cardio options are not preceding a leg day, then these are fine. But you always want to try to find a way to incorporate health and fitness into your program. Health and fitness need to be at the foundation of your training, keeping your body healthy, keeping your joints safe. These are variables that need to always be in place before you start attacking anything else. This is where your size and strength is built off of. If your fitness does not allow you to train for size properly, if it does not allow you to properly train for strength, then what is the point of doing size and strength work if you're not going to get the most out of it anyway? And the most you get out of it is making sure you're fit enough to handle it, and you can stay healthy long enough to handle your training. The person who lifts the longest gets the strongest. So you always want to remember that. I'm going to end the video there because I feel like I might have been rambling a bit more than I wanted to, but I hope you were able to get out of my ramblings, because it is like midnight right now. I hope you were able to get what I want to tell you, which is be fit. I don't care how you do it. Incorporate some level of fitness. Supersets are the easiest way because it's going to impact your training the smallest. But add some type of cardio into your lifestyle, into your training if you can. If there are variations of conditioning that do not negatively impact your training, implement them, because your level of fitness is going to determine the level of strength and size you achieve. My name is Karel Saking, standstrength.com. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember to start where you stand, and please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more power building content. Have a good day.